At 6, we'll begin tonight in the North Bay, where fire crews are making progress with a fire at Clearlake, which prompted evacuation orders today. Those evacuation orders have since been downgraded to warnings. The fire, though, exploded to more than 340 acres this evening, threatening a number of buildings. CAL FIRE says crews have made progress. It's now 5% contained. Evacuation orders have been lifted in some areas. Here's a look at all of those areas under the evacuation warning. It stretches from Borax Lake to Cache Creek. And with the latest on the winds and the weather, here's Derek.
Yeah, a little more perspective on that. The wind picked up today, Brian. We could see it when we were looking at the smoke plumes coming off of those fires. I'm going to show you how that's improved here in 1 second. But look what happened today. These are 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts over the water. Not that strong over here. So Clearlake would be sitting in just north of the map on this region, and we had about 30 to 40 mile an hour winds at their worst, more like 25 to 35 on that fire. Here's perspective. There we are at home in the bay. Let's get up to Clearlake, and now you can see where that fire is, and as we zoom in, you can see what the early outlook on the perimeter was, just on the outskirts of the community here and burning that way. In other words, winds were coming from here, blowing the fire that way. It was a helpful part of the aspect of the fire today in terms of the direction the smoke was going. That's earlier. Let's look at the improvement. We showed that on the air at 5 o'clock. That's what the smoke plume looked like. Here's the latest time lapse on that. Far less. You see how the smoke's really died down. This thing's not out, but they've clearly got a much better handle on it now than they did, and at least the fire itself is not burning as intense. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. We'll talk about the rest of our forecast. We got a little bit of a warm-up coming this week. More on that in a bit. For now, Brian, back to you.